I think that's the crazy thing when you play live and people sing back to you.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, everyone knows these words, which is crazy, but also everyone is like singing this and bringing their own meaning to it, which is honestly so emotional.
What's your train track?
Hey,
Hi.
thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
What's your first train track?
So my first train track is one of our own. It's called Is This Real by Overpass.
Let's do it. Big riff to start.
Catchy, hopefully.
Tell me the story behind the song. What does it mean? Max wrote it, you said. But...
Yeah, it's kind of about being in your early 20s, being kind of confused with the direction of your life and sort of figuring it all out, I guess. Like the point we're at and what a lot of our upcoming albums about is sort of being like having these kind of big life experiences, but you're suddenly quite alone with them, like coming out of education, coming out of structure, sort of being left to sort of fend for yourself and choose your own options, I think. And there's a lot of positivity in that, but it can be a little bit scary, and I think this song kind of speaks to that.
It's such a weird transitional phase where you've kind of been in this like routine and structure of, okay, you go to like September to May, that's your year, and then you have like holiday. Suddenly you're an adult and it's like, that doesn't exist anymore, there is no structure.
I miss the school holidays.
So much. Like, Easter holidays just happen and I'm like, I missed that, where it's like 2 weeks to just do nothing. Now it's like, you've got to book that in, you've got to find the time in a year. That transitional phase into adulthood, you know, debut album, that's a big thing. You say you touch on that a lot in the album? Yeah, definitely. I think it's an exciting time for us, obviously, but quite daunting as well. I mean, you only get one debut album, but I think we've always wanted to release an album, so it's kind of a dream moment as well. But yeah, definitely it comes from this place of like, and we're all in the same boat in the band, which is nice, but it's like time is just really flying, and like you look back at when we started the band, it feels like we were just babies, and now we're here with this album ready. It's a huge step,
crazy.
Isn't it? And I guess that's suddenly like, wow, we're really doing this. Wow, this is a thing, we've got an album. Obviously, you know, you've done the festival runs, you've done how many EPs now?
Then 2 EPs.
2 EPs, and you know, you've built such a loyal audience that really, you know, I think the live side of things is where it really connects for them. Was that always the hope, that it would be live, where the music would be really
definitely? I think so. I think for us that means the most is like seeing people like who actually like your work and engage with it. I think obviously everyone wants to stream really well or like get, you know, good engagement or whatever, but I think actually having people buy tickets and come to gigs, because for us we love performing the music, that's almost why we're kind of writing, is with that end goal in mind of playing that at a gig. So yeah, I think that side of the band, I'm glad it's always been really consistently growing. Yeah,
I think it's always the side of things where I've heard the most about you guys. I think the recorded music is great, I love it. It's always when I see your name on a festival, I'm like, that's the thing,
can't escape.
And I think that's such a nice feeling, that the audience has grown so organically around the performance and around the show that you guys put on.
Definitely. I think that kind of growth is hopefully also quite sustainable as well, you know. Everyone wants, you know, their like overnight sensation, but I think being able to have like a really solid like fan base who just grow with you and who you kind of feel like you have more of that relationship with, where you recognise people at gigs and things like that. It's really nice.
Is that something you're conscious of, the longevity about it, where it's like, you know, we're really young when we started this, we're moving into a phase where we're like, you know, the album's the next thing. How do we maintain that level of momentum and passion around it? Obviously you all love making the music and playing the music, that's obviously the driving force, right? Yeah,
exactly. I think that's the thing, it's the music comes first, but we all love what we do. We love that we get to do this and we just want to keep doing it. So I think, you know, usually that comes from thinking about, okay, after this, what's the next project? What's the next thing that we're going to record and release together? And that will always kind of be there pushing us forwards. But I think definitely the longevity, it's like, I don't know what else I'd be doing. I want to be doing this.
Well, that's it. I guess it's like, this is my purpose. And does that feel quite constant between all of you? That it's like all of you are like, this is the thing that we want to do and we want to keep doing?
Definitely. I think especially when we're on the road, we really get that strong feeling of it's so cool that we get to do this, and this is what we want to do, and it's like, you know, getting to travel to see new places with the band, and like through that is so cool. And yeah, festivals, all these amazing experiences, and it's part of the job. It's crazy.
Obviously you've got big festival summer coming up.
Yes.
What's lined up? What have you got?
We've got some great UK ones. We've got Reading and Leeds, Latitude, Isle of Wight.
Those all feel like perfect ones that you would have gone to and expected to see a band like Overpass. And now you guys get to play it. It's like, this is such a cool full circle moment, right?
So cool, yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited for the lineups there as well. Like, I love David Byrne, and he's playing Latitude, and then Fontaines and Charlie XCX, Reading and Leeds. It's going to be so good. And then we've got quite a lot of European festivals as well. I think we're really looking forward to Madrid. Never been to Madrid before, so we're going to make a little...
Which one are you playing?
We're playing Mad Cool.
Oh, I went there for you. It's so good.
Really?
It's such a cool... It was probably one of my favourite. It's so hot.
Yeah.
The thing is, because it's so hot, then everything like shifts. The schedule is like music starts at like 8 p.m. through till 4 a.m. I remember when I went, my friends were like, oh, should we go see Foals at 3 a.m. and it was like,
wow.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not a night owl, but I'm gonna have to really like change my programming for that.
You'll have a festival slot that's like 2 a.m. on the main stage, and that'll be like, oh my god, that was quite hot. But it's like jet lag once you go to so you're only in Spain. But I think that'll be such a fun one to do. How long have you been sat on these songs for?
A while. We recorded in summer, but obviously we've had, you know, a few of them written for ages and some more recent and everything. So it's really nice to just actually get them out there. I feel like as a musician, it's always that weird thing where by the time you're ready to release something, you're already thinking about the next thing. You're already kind of moving forward. So it's just really good to get these ones out.
What were you listening to when you guys were making this? Or is that something you're quite conscious of not doing? When you're in the studio, it's like, we want to not listen and not be influenced by things?
No, I think it's impossible, like, not to be. Obviously, you don't want to be too in one sort of world, but I think when we were making this, and the album in general, it was a lot of those kind of, I guess, like the festival headliner bands of like, we love Stereophonics, Kings of Leon, even like the Killers, like bands that just like very feel good music. So I think hopefully the song has that element to it. Even though maybe the lyrics, there's a lot of introspection, it's still quite an uplifting melody.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to hear the things that have inspired it. So what's your next train track?
My next train track is Bled by Elliott Smith.
Oh my god. It feels, initially when I saw Elliott Smith, I was like, this feels like quite a far reach from the Overpass sound, but actually I don't think it is necessarily from a writing perspective and from a...
I think it's his melody, I think honestly he's just unparalleled in use of melody. I just love it so much. And Max and I are always listening to like this song, but also any Elliott Smith really.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing, he's always typically seen as quite a melancholy artist, right?
But it isn't.
His music literally brings me like pure joy. Like I feel so happy when I listen to him. I think just because of like vocally, instrumentally, everything he does, I just love. Hold on.
Whoa!
So
that's real commitment.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. But I like this song. I think it was a good train track as well because it's him traveling through a city, sort of observing the way it's changed with like gentrification, and feeling like he doesn't really relate to what he's seeing or like find his place in there. Which again is, I guess, a bit similar to themes of the album of like trying to situate yourself in amongst like what everyone else is doing. Are you making the right choices? All that kind of stuff. This is such a great song. Being in a band where all of you have come from different tastes and different upbringings and musical inspirations, does it feel like everyone brings a slightly different thing to the table? Or have you got kind of, you know, you said that you and Max love Elliott Smith, but does everyone bring their own sort of... Definitely. We're all very similar. Like, I'd say if one person likes something, even if the rest of us haven't heard it before, we're going to like it usually. Like, you know, so that's quite nice in a way because we can all introduce each other to different things and kind of know that we'll all be on the same page about it. But we definitely all bring different sides of things. Like Jake really loves Foals. You were talking about Foals earlier. And obviously I think from a drumming perspective, it's kind of cool bringing that energy. But yeah, I'm really into like, Brazilian music, so I think maybe that's the bassist in me, I guess, or like the rhythm side of it. But that's a really cool rhythmic inspiration, I think. Yeah. Were you raised on that kind of thing, or? My mom loves, she's always been really into that kind of music, so I listen to a lot of that, especially when the sun's shining.
It's
perfect time.
Okay, what's your next train track?
My next train track is Leave Me Alone by New Order.
Another riff heavy one.
Yeah, there's a theme clearly.
Yeah, but that's cool. I think
quite,
it's cool seeing how that translates into the music that you guys make as a band.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's quite a repetitive riff, but I do like that. It probably is quite similar to the Is This Real riff as well, like running through the track. I rediscovered this song through the Luca Guadagnino film Queer. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, it's his adaptation of the William Burroughs novel.
Okay.
And it's a really, really great film. And Daniel Craig plays the main character, who's like Burroughs' self-insert character. And there's this one scene where he's getting back into addiction, and he's sat, and there's this long take of him just like staring straight ahead, listening to this song, and the song just fully plays, and it just hit me so much, and I was like, this is incredible, because it is such a like, it takes a while to build up.
Yeah.
So now it's my go-to like public transport song.
This is the train track.
Yeah, not just because I want everyone to leave me alone. But yeah, it's like that kind of disassociating, just like in transit kind of.
Yeah.
I like the lyrics as well if you like read them or whatever, but it's kind of that idea of Sonder, I think it is, that term, where you're like, I think you get it a lot on public transport, where you realize like, whoa, all these people, these strangers are also commuting to the same place as me, or you know, it can be kind of hopeful, I guess, going through similar life experiences. And I'm never going to know that or know any detail about it, but wow, it's really interesting.
It's quite beautiful. I mean, it was half the reason why I started doing this was because I love this thing that some people would accidentally do, where they think they had their headphones plugged in and then they didn't, and then they were on the train and they just played a song out loud, and they'd be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I love that, because then you're like, okay, now I know what's soundtracking this journey for you. If they're on the bus and it's something that I'm really listening to, like a really dreary song, or someone sat in the sun and they're listening to like a real like upbeat, like this kind of thing. And for me, I was like, wow, every single person on this train is listening to a different thing, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a song, that's like, that fascinated me.
I always love like trying to spy what people are reading on the tube.
I hate when people have those like privacy screens on their phones.
Oh,
you know where it's like you can't see if you're from this. I'm not seeing you. I'm looking. I want to know. Share. Come on. Or I think if someone's reading a newspaper, that's for us. Like, you're not reading that. You're not reading something this big just for you. That's selfish. Like, if I'm then like, oh, can I have a look at that? No, just share with me.
We can do the crossword together.
Yeah, exactly. We can do this together. Are you quite an old soul in terms of what you listen to? Obviously, you've picked 3 songs that aren't necessarily new.
Yeah, I don't sometimes, but I do like a lot of new music as well. You know, I'm a bit of a mix. Like,
what's some new stuff that you're liking?
We're going to be playing on a festival with West Side Cowboy and Geese. Cool. I really love. So, yeah, that'd be really, really cool.
I think it is cool seeing another rise of bands and kind of comeback of the band. I think it's such a cool thing where the importance of the scene is so much more recognised now than it has been, I think.
So I think like probably lockdown and COVID just like really deadened it for a while. It was obviously so difficult to make music, and I think especially as a band, because you have to meet up to practice together, to share ideas. You know, if you're a solo artist, you could maybe do more of that stuff in your bedroom, and but we kind of had to like either not practice or try and FaceTime each other to do stuff. And then I guess it feels like now everything is slowly reviving, and it has taken its time, but there does seem to be more of a scene of like upcoming bands, and it's not just the same like people on festivals all the time.
I think that's a really interesting take. The post-COVID rise of guitar music, I think, is really interesting, that people craved that live feeling.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, that like your music's really connected with a live audience. That's the thing that's like grabbed people. Do you think that the timing of COVID, because I think for a lot of bands it really like squashed them and put them their momentum completely at a halt, but for you guys, you feel like it actually
100%. I think we were somehow lucky in that we hadn't even gigged before COVID. We'd planned to, and then it got cancelled, and then it just actually gave us that time to practice and get ready. And then by the time the like gigs were back on, like we were able to sell tickets because everyone wanted to come and do these things that they weren't able to do for so long.
People really they missed it. There was such a hunger for going to gigs.
Exactly, and I think that's always, and obviously we wanted that as well. We wanted to go to gigs and perform, and I think that has really fed into our music, is like prioritizing that aspect of it and the actual connections that you can have with people in a room at a gig. You know, I think it's so special, and that's you know, when I grew up, I used to love going to gigs.
The biggest thing for me during lockdown was like, no gigs was such I mean, it saved me a lot of money, but like...
Yeah. We did a socially distanced gig, and everyone had to sit down on tables, and it was fun to do, but I think it was probably it was more nerve-wracking than a normal gig, because everyone sat there looking at you versus like everyone moving around, you can't really see people's faces.
Such a sign of the times. I think you think back on it now and it's like,
what was that?
I bought tickets to go to 2 Zoom gigs. I'm like, what? What was that? I was so desperate for music that I was like, I just want to watch it on Zoom, please. Just let me see it.
You know what? I think we supported a band, and it was like a live stream gig that they were doing. And we we were on first, and I think the live stream was just glitching, not working for a whole set. So we were just there for half an hour playing to no one, absolutely no one, not even anyone virtually.
Just to practice, everybody just practicing.
It's definitely like an interesting origin story, and I think it has made us really just value gigging. Like when we're not on the road, I feel a bit like, what's my purpose? Like what am I doing with my time? So I'm so excited for summer festival season, like album launch as well, and
I think great period of just like album festivals, go. Their tour stuff in there.
Yeah, we're doing like in store for the album. So that's our first time doing anything like that properly. So it's gonna be really exciting. And I guess that's also really being able to meet people, chat, have more of that like personal connection, which is nice. And then our big headline tour's in autumn. So we've got a bit of time before that, but I'm so excited. We've got some great venues.
What's your next train track?
My next train track is Inner City Blues by Marvin Gaye.
This comes from a different place, this feels like.
Yeah, this comes from a very different place, but I just love this song. I've been listening to What's Going On, like the album, so much recently. And this song, I don't know, just like getting the train into Birmingham, which is where the band and I are based. This is such a good like early evening track. Instrumentally, I love it. There's this bass line that kind of just...
so funky.
It just loops throughout the whole song, and it's so good. But yeah, I think the lyrics on this, it's scary how relevant it still is today. When he was writing in the early 70s, it was like Vietnam War, all of this kind of like trying to stop war. And I think we're obviously still in a very similar and very scary position right now. So I think it's kind of a testament to obviously hardships, but also how kind of good of a writer he was, that it can still be relevant.
It can be timeless. I think writing a timeless song is such a challenge that I speak to so many writers and artists about, where it's like, if that's the goal, if that's the thing that's like, if I've written a timeless song, then I've done it. I've made my magnum opus, where something that, you know, could be relevant now, which I think, you know, songs like you're writing for this album, I think there will always be people that relate to that kind of transitional phase and creating that feeling of like the in-between.
Yeah, definitely.
Every person can relate to that, regardless of where they're from or what their worldview is.
I think that's the thing. It's like relatability. It's kind of one of the main aims maybe with lyric writing. I think it's just like, I guess obviously you want people to feel some emotion and connection to what you're saying and like recognize something of that in themselves, and it might be completely different to what your experience of that was, or you know, your intentions for the song. But I think if people take that and interpret it in their own way and like see that through the lens of their own life, I think it's great. So it's a nice thing to be able to put something out into the world and know that what someone else is taking away from it could be radically different to the way that you expected them to. Definitely. I think that's the crazy thing when you play live and people sing back to you. It's like, wow, everyone knows these words, which is crazy, but also everyone is like singing this and bringing their own meaning to it, which is honestly so emotional. There's one song on the album called Fall in Love, and hopefully when that comes out, hopefully people like it, and I think I'll just cry if anyone sings that back to us, because it's quite a, you know, an emotional song. It really like hits you in the chest, and I think playing that to a crowd of people, I'm just hoping that it goes down like that, and it will be that moment. It will just be very special, definitely.
Going back to the lockdown thing, where you didn't have that instant connection with people, you weren't able to play a song and be like, wow, you guys like this one, this is great. It was purely numbers based, which I think is like, we can become so numbers obsessed. And I think even now, like post-COVID, so easy to become so data driven and numbers like fixated. But it's those moments when you play live where it's like, wow, people really connect. These are real people behind these numbers, behind these TikTok comments, behind whatever.
Exactly. I think it's so important because it's, obviously everyone falls victim at certain times to being, caring too much about the numbers. But recently I've been pretty good at just not caring anymore. I'm like, if, we're releasing this album and I think it will find the people it's meant to find and I just hope people take it and accept it. I think I would rather everyone that already knows us really loves this, and like kind of connects with it than trying to like blindly push it as much as possible into the void of social media and whatever. Which you got to do a bit of.
Doing it in a way that feels like human and
feels fun, definitely.
Connected with what the reason was behind making the music in the first place.
100%.
Those moments you wanted to soundtrack for people and helping them through those moments of uncertainty or change or transitional periods.
Exactly.
That's like, if we can do that for one person or 100 people or 1,000 people, then like.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like obviously this and talking about why we love music, it's just, that's why we do it, you know?
When you guys record, do you tend to do things all in one burst, in one long period, or are you kind of spaced out across?
With the album, we did it in one long period, actually. We spent 6 weeks, which is quite a while,
6 weeks.
But it was great. I think we were lucky to have that much time. I think doing an album for the first time, we didn't want to rush anything. We just wanted to take our time. So, we kind of all went to Liverpool to record, stayed in a little Airbnb together.
6 weeks all together?
Yeah.
By the end of it, were you like, we made something cool, or were you like, don't talk to me?
Somehow we came out of it the other side, all fine, No, we actually ended up, it was a nice experience. It was really, really fun. It was just literally in the studio, 9 to 5, every day, kind of just doing it. And it worked really well for us, having that routine and just like, we're here, we're in this headspace, we're cracking on. And we had a couple tours in between, so we had to go off for a week.
Okay.
And then come back, but if anything, that just gave us more inspiration. So, we had a Wombat show as well, actually. Talk about the Wombats.
Yeah.
We played with them on the waterfront in Liverpool. It was really good.
Was that the one where you came out as the Wombats?
That was different. That was in December, just gone. I think that was in Edinburgh that we dressed as Wombats. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was fun. It was. Well, being indoors in a kind of dark venue anyway, and then being in a wombat suit that you cannot physically see out of.
Did they ask you, did they say, hey, do you want to be a wombat?
Yeah, they said, we have enough for all of you guys. And then some of the boys, I won't name names, they chickened out. They didn't do it,
No.
But some of us did it. It was really fun. But honestly, I was just trying not to trip over. I was actually holding the legs of this wombat costume, like on stage, trying not to bash into the keys player. Trying to dance. Yeah, it was difficult.
Well, we're kind of at our final stop here, so thank you so much. This was so much fun.
It was great. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad we got to do this, and I'm excited for the album, excited for the tours, festivals, everything, so good luck.
Thank you.
What's your train track?